Well, here we go again, and I say again because I just did a whole 5 or 6 minute Cecil B. DeMille production with no film in my camera, or what I really mean, there's no SD card in my GoPro. But yeah, it looks like we're back up and running, and maybe the good news is that I can shorten this up a little bit. Okay, this one this time is primarily for my customer. I like to let other people have a look at this. I get some feedback and I get some comments, and a few people follow it, and I hope get a little value out of it. But here's my problem tonight. We're so close. This piece is just about there. Let me rock this camera up a tiny bit and notice that we have the dummy numbers on. The actual copper for the numbers shipped out today to go to the water jet cutter. With fingers crossed, maybe back by the end of the week. I'm a little doubtful, but be back soon. We're there. We've got the artwork done, we've got the canopies done, the piece is looking great, other than the fact that it's all black and ugly. It has to be clean and colored. All of that has to wait till we're right at the very end. Any of the dark spots that you will see, and yes, you will see how dark and blackish it is over here, that's mandatory. It has to go through that stage. While we're putting it together, there's heat going on to it, and the darkness just is part of the deal. Viewers who watch my things over the years know that. Here's the problem. We're down to lighting. And I've had a terrific problem getting together with my lighting person who has been magical in years and projects past. I've both been sick, very, very sick as I've been that I can remember in my adult life. And while I'm getting through with that, I have not been able to get to see her. And now she's away, and I've done some shopping on my own, and I found something that made me really, really happy until I got going. And now I'm a little disturbed about it. And this piece right here, you see this little wafer-thin light. By the way, it is ready to rock and roll, and the reason there's tape on it is just to pull it down nice and tight and tidy to see how small I can make it. When it comes with its own box and everything, it's kind of big and gonky, and I don't want to fight that. I want to get down nice and tight. But maybe we don't use it. Because what I did was build a box to mount it in, which has to then be attached or affixed to our nice canopy piece that covers up the mounting base. And look at that thing. It's just horrible. Look at the size of that big ugly thing. So the one option would be to cut it in, drop it down into the base, put a little bit of an angle on it for a little highlighting on the numbers and the address. And then we have to deal with not only a precise cut, but the brazing, which is going to warp everything. It always does. There's no getting around it. I would try everything in my power to brace it, clamp it, and affix it, and go slowly a spot at a time and minimize the warpage, but there's always warpage. It's just impossible. Right now we have a nice, clean, smooth looking finish that I don't want to mess with if I can help it. So what it brings me to is, now that I've learned that we're getting more and more lights with the transformer built into the light, which means we don't have to rewire anything. We don't need a custom transformer to handle everything. The existing wiring at the site is ready to switch, flip it on, and we've got wiring in the pilasters, we've got wiring for the lights in the walkway, and wow, we're done. All we have to do is hook this thing up. Because here's the transformer at each of the 6 lights that we're dealing with in this component of the project. That to me is magical. Solves a lot of problems except for the mounting of a light right here. What I need to back up and go start hunting for, if I have your approval, sir, you know who you are, we share the same first name. I'm thinking there's a smallish light out there in the world, maybe not much bigger than this little, this is just a piece of tubing, but imagine that there was a light, is that visible here? Yeah, kinda, that mounted to the front and was a little bit low on profile, but gave us the lighting we need over here on the number, on the address, gave us some adjustability. If that exists out there, and I'm beginning to think that it must, I just don't know where yet, but now I've got to go digging, and I'm well enough now to actually do it. I think that's the way we need to go. So I'm asking for input, sir, when you get a chance. And if you're in agreement on that, I think that will be our solution. I would have genuinely preferred to bury it inside of here and make it just go away. But I think the nominal impact that a nice dark piece out here, because we're going to go dark colors, a dark green, natural colors, natural greens on the copper, I think this will pretty much disappear, especially when it's on. When it's on, your eye's going to be drawn everywhere, all of the artwork and the address, and not the actual source of the lighting. So there's my presentation for tonight. Let's see where that falls. I try to keep these things short. What have I done now? I've done almost 6 minutes. That's as long as I like to go. So let's cut it here. Let me know what you think. And any other viewer, somebody else takes a look and says, hey, I got an idea. Feel free to chime in. Type in down in the comments down below, and I will appreciate it very much. This is one of those times where I don't know everything. Actually, all the time I don't know everything. But this one's a little bigger because I really want to get this thing right. We've just done slowly working with the client back and forth, back and forth. The difficulty in doing, you know, I'm sorry, I'm carried away here, but you think you should be able to pre-design every single element of a piece like this. And probably somebody way smarter than I am could, but what I do is back into it and realize that I've got to solve a problem when I find it. We had to mount the art way differently than I expected. We had the look that we were going for, but it's mounted so differently, and we'll talk about that later when we're finishing it up and installing it. It's not going to change the look or the functionality. Okay, I promise to stop. I'm going to push the button. See you next time.